Hello, hello, hello. So, as the leaves begin to fall and summer comes to an end, we're starting to get a little bit cozier. Yeah, we're starting to get our blankets and sit back and stay a little more indoors. Of course, with quarantine and everything going on, of course that's going to happen. But with that, I began to resort to one of my favorite pastimes, Flash games. And what is one of my favorite Flash games? Poptropica. So I wanted to start making YouTube videos anyway, but with the rise of this thing called Pop Month, which I thought was a really cool idea, I kind of have a little vehicle to do that. So Pop Month, if you don't know, is like Poptropica's anniversary month, which is September. And so this awesome YouTube channel called Dimension Bros decided to make a little thing called Pop Month, where for the whole month of September, all these Poptropica creators get around and just start making a bunch of cool content, like little videos. It could be like memes, it could be reviews, it could be sort of what I'm doing today. But I thought that was a really cool idea, so I thought that would be a cool idea for me to start my YouTube career. But I soon realized it was, how about we check, the 26th. So I'm like, hot damn, I better get moving on this video. So I thought, okay, what a better way to start off my YouTube channel and a closing to Pop Month with some nice, low-effort simping. So I have to credit the Dimension Bros for this idea, specifically Theo. His video is actually hilarious, but I decided, hey, maybe I can do one with my own slant and my own opinions on the 10 hottest Poptropica characters. I thought this was a great idea because I was a little bit of a thirsty girl in my younger days, and in my head I had compiled a lot of... Where am I going with this? Okay, screw it. Here are the hottest Poptropicans, alright? Let's get into it. So coming in at number 10 on my list, we have the Strange Man from Counterfeit. Just looking at him, he has this cool vibe going on, and there's a lot of tension going on. Of course, he meets you, and he's like, I'm on your side. Someone's gonna steal the scream. And you're like, ooh, ooh. And then he ends up actually helping you in the end, which is very attractive. And he just seems like such a cool character to be around in the story. He's got his little, like, sort of Indiana Jones thing going on. I'm just looking at him. He's got, like, the sunglasses and the hat and everything, and he looks very cool and calm and mysterious, so I like him very much. Alright, number 9, we got Charlie Bucket. So I know what you're probably gonna say. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, Charlie Bucket? He's a little young, and I know what you're saying, but I am also young, so it's okay. And he does look to be a little bit older. He has this, like, e-boy thing going on where, I know he's poor, but he has this, like, eye bags, and he looks very cute and wholesome. My one problem is that in the island, he doesn't really get what he deserves, because you're the one that ends up doing all the work, of course, of saving people and trying to do all that, and then he just kind of gets the credit, sort of, which was annoying. But I love the island. It's one of my favorite islands. I love it. But I do very much like Charlie Bucket. I like his thing going on. He looks very good. Alright, on number 8 on my list, we have Apollo. So, I know what you're probably gonna say. You don't even see Apollo. He's literally just a statue on mythology. And you're right. And there's plenty of other people who have maybe some other opinions. I can name at least several people that have the absolute hots for Hades. No pun intended. But for me, Apollo, his statue, he looks so good. He has this, like, mullet sort of thing going on, and he's all, like, music, and you get, like, the reed from him. He's got his little, like lute harp sort of thing. There's not so much that I can say about him, except that he looks very good. I like his thing going on. He seems pretty cool. Not much else I can say about him, but number 8. Alright, so I think this next one's going to be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but number 7 on my list, I have the pilot from Nabooti, which nobody talks about, but I just feel like you have some sort of intimate thing going on. You're flying everywhere around Africa, Giza, Mountain of the Moon, I think it's called, I don't remember, but Egypt, you're going all these places. That's a whole continent. And you're going through all those places with this pilot just with you. And he hardly says a word, but he seems very respectable. He has like that light stubble going on and the goggles. I love his vibe. He seems very sweet and respectful. He seems like he respects you. And you fly all over Africa with this guy. Like you're bound to have some sort of connection, right? Because everybody else is just kind of rude to you, I think. At least in like the diamond mines, and I don't remember what it's called, but that one area that's like all dark and you keep getting beaten up by those guys. It seems like most of Africa in Djibouti is out to get you, but he's very nice. So I get good vibes from him. He gets an A+ from me. I love his look. Now this next one on my list, I actually had an entire phase for. You are not gonna believe this, but the lodger / cemetery visitor from Ghost Story that you talk to, and you show up to him and he says, "I'm looking for my Uncle Silas Moon," and I love this man so much that I actually honorarily gave him his own name. I call him Oliver Moon because I feel like he deserves a name. He's not even that big of like a part of the plot, but I love him so much. He's so dapper. He's got his red bow tie and his like little suit, and he's carrying his little suitcase, and he looks very like sunken and emo, and I absolutely messed with that. I love him so much. I drew fan art of him. I love him so much, and I'm actually surprised that he's not much higher on the list because I was so obsessed with him. But you will be surprised. There are people more up on this list that I realized, you know what, they deserve to be where they are. But anyway, Oliver Moon, I love you. You're the best. That's basically 90% of the reason why I love Ghost Story. Ghost Story's great for that one audio, that one part, you know what I'm talking about. But for the rest of that, if he weren't in there, I probably wouldn't like Ghost Story really all that much, but he just makes the whole thing for me. I love his vibes. Okay, you were gonna call me crazy for this next one, but completely random. The gas station worker at 24 Karat. Hear me out. He's got his cap on. He looks like a fine young man with a very nice skin tone and this like spiky, fluffy hair that I just love. I think he says like one line to you the entire time. I don't think you can really interact with him anyway otherwise, but he just looks so good looking, you know? He has like a cool thing about him. There's very little I can say about him because most of 24 Karat, there isn't very many people who you can kind of like, get with, if that makes sense. There's Charlie, right? She's very cool. She's very cute and wholesome, especially the cat, Whiskers. But, other than that, I like him. I love 24 Karat, and he just, I don't know, he has this little touch to it. That makes no sense. But I very much like the 24 Karat gas station worker. So at number 4, we have Zack from Steamworks. What I love most about Zack is that it's more of like the mystery. There's like this sort of like fate aspect, where the entire island, you never see him face to face. You get this like, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, your only hope, on like the hologram version of him, which I very much like. And there's kind of this build-up where you're completely alone on this island, except for like robots and like machinery, which is really cool. I love the atmosphere of that island. But then it all comes together at the very end, well, almost the very end, when you finally see him, and it's all like, whoa, wow. I don't know. I love that ending. It's very sweet, and it's like, oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen another person. It's very fun. And looking at him, he looks like such a sweetie. He's got his freckles and his goggles and this spiky red hair. And I love the Steamworks getup. The Steamworks wardrobe is very much working for me. But he just looks so cool and sweet, and I love his personality. He seems like a cool dude who I'd have a sequel island with. Alright, coming in at number 3, we have, from Mystery Train, the Coalman. I don't really have a lot to say about this one either, because it's mostly just about his looks, but out of all the people in Mystery Train, out of all the, like, famous old people that you see and everything, he seems like kind of like someone on the outside, and at first you kind of suspect him because there's like some part about you like he has like coal on him, and there's this whole like subplot about, you know, ooh, but you've got the coal. But he is innocent in the end. Oh, spoiler, he is innocent in the end. But his whole look is great. He's all black. He's like this cool like hair coming out in tufts. He also has goggles. There's like 3 people on the list with goggles. That's a thing. He has this little bandana and this whole outfit. I love the atmosphere of Mystery Train. I loved how it was kind of like this little out of the sort of template of Poptropica Islands. I know that each one is different in its own way, but I love that this one totally took like a PC game vibe that was totally different and unique with different mechanics and everything. That was really cool. And I don't know, that's unrelated, but I like him a lot. He seems like he was my favorite character out of all of them. That was a cool island. Now, how could we have a Hottest Poptropicans list without including our very own Bucky Lucas? I love him. He's such a great celebrity. On reality TV, I did like that island, but my favorite part about the island wasn't the actual reality TV, like, game part, but really just the beforehand of, like, trying to find Bucky and then trying to, like, do things for him. That was very cool. That was fun. He has this amazing look of, like, disheveled. I guess I'm taking this from Theo from Dimension Bros video, but I love it. I completely agree with you on this. He has this great look with like his tousled hair and the stubble and his like ratty clothes in the motel. And I like that he's not so much of a jerk to you. Like Kirk Strayer is more of like a jerk. I loved Backlot because he was great. And Bucky Lucas is more of just like, yeah, I used to be somebody and now I'm not. And I love his vibe. He's great. And he just looks so good. His whole outfit, his whole getup. He's such an icon, and I feel like everybody who plays Poptropica to some extent has to love him like that. So he very comfortably rests at number 2. Alright, and last but not least, we have Edgar from Monster Carnival, my favorite island. What did you expect? I love Edgar so much, and at first I just, you know, it takes place in like the 50s or something like that, in the middle of like cornfields in probably like, you know, Kansas or something, so I'm expecting him to have a kind of like southern accent, and I was like, okay, he's not like, you know, attractive, but like he's a cool dude. That was until I began to picture him as Ponyboy from The Outsiders. And then all of a sudden, I was like, ooh. And I love Edgar. He's such a sweetie. And the tension that Edgar has with the player is so palpable. You do everything together. You constantly help him out. And he's like, wow, thanks, man. That's really cool of you. And then you do everything together. And the night falls and everything goes wrong. And I especially love the part, spoilers, where he like gets hypnotized or something, like by Ringmaster Raven, and you like run up to him and you're like, Edgar, don't you remember me? It's your friend, it's me. And that is such a cinematic, romantic moment. You can't deny that. Whoever you are, that is such a moment. But anyway, I love Edgar. He's got his little suspenders and his little button-down t-shirt. He's such a sweetie. He's such a sweetie, and he might be actually my favorite Poptropica character, maybe ever. Not just because it's Monster Carnival, my favorite island, but also he's just so nice, and he's just such a very detailed, fun character, and I love him. He's such a cutie. So before I wrap up this video, I did want to bring up a few honorable mentions, because surprisingly this list was actually really hard to make. I wrote down a ton of different people, and then I had a hard time sorting them out. And even after I publish this video, I'll probably keep editing and rearranging the order of all the people, because it was really that hard, and I was that indecisive about it. But there were a few people that I feel like did definitely need mentions. The shark fin vendor from Sharktooth Island is such a himbo, and I love that. He's so goofy, and he's like, here, take a shark fin, have fun on Sharktooth Island. and he's just completely optional. You don't need the shark fin to complete the island, but I just love it. I love that look of the grass skirt and the shark fin, and he fits the mood of Sharktooth very well. The Skullduggery Cabin Boy, I feel like, just because there's a lack of young, cool people on Skullduggery, that I like him as a person, just being there and being like the one person on your ship that kind of just he has this energy. I love him. I love him. I almost put him on the list at number 10. He was kind of back and forth with the strange man, but I will admit many of the ladies on Mythology do look very beautiful. All of us have stolen the hairstyle and makeup from them before. Don't lie. I know you did the customizer on them. We all did. And like I said before, Charlie from 24 Karat is quite cute and nice and friendly, and she definitely deserves a mention in this video. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to my stupid little video, my first video. This was super fun to make. I love talking about Poptropica in any way, shape, or form. And I'm really happy that we had this platform of Pop Month to kind of get our creative Poptropica ideas flowing, and a nice way to output that to the community, because I love the Poptropica community. And yeah, this was very fun. So, thank you for watching. Stay cozy, stay safe, get a pumpkin spice latte, and simp for some Poptropicans. Bye.